So there's this story on the top of page 6, which we haven't talked about. Yahoo stunned by Couric mess. And there's a story in here about this producer. Have you all seen this? This gun deal? Where this producer completely cuts out all these questions to gun owners and just makes them look like bumbling idiots. I've got to say,
cuts out their responses.
Their responses where, you know, if what was it about background checks or something? If we you know, what would happen? And it just showed shots of them looking stupid. Just they're like, wow, we really stumped them with that question for about 10 seconds. And it ended up that they were smart enough to actually record the whole thing, and they all had very quick, eloquent responses.
Without a pause.
And now apparently,
or music.
it's apparently this producer that inserted this in this Yahoo documentary. Has anybody seen this other than
I've seen the clip.
I've seen it and I've heard the audio.
It's stunning, isn't it? It's one of the most stunning things I've ever seen as far as just a complete hit job on a group of just stunning.
Yeah, Katie Couric initially came out and said she stands by the movie, but then she came out with a long apology after having seen what the edit was. But you're right, she asked a question, then there's like an 8 or 9 second pause where it's just shots of this audience of gun rights advocates looking like they were stumped by the question.
Cut to a gun.
Unfortunately for the director of the film, the full tape was produced by this group that showed them giving long, well-thought-out, 10-minute response to the question.
Examples of how to prevent guns from falling into the hands of felons, which was the initial question.
The answers were about the rights of gun owners. If you've served your duty, you've served your time in society, you should have the same rights as everybody else. Yeah. I mean, there are legitimate arguments in the debate over background checks and gun ownership.
Yeah, did you see it?
I haven't seen the clip, but I've read about it.
Oh, it's stunning. How about you guys?
Gene?
Yeah, no, I've read about it, Joe. I haven't seen the clip, but it sounds like the kind of thing that you don't do journalistically. I mean, you
Chuck and Chris,
don't
have you guys seen it?
Edit things to make them misleading.
Haven't seen, but I'll say this is exactly what we don't need. I mean, this is the exact kind of thing that convinces people who support gun rights that the other side is sort of plotting against them. You know, I mean, this is the goodwill goes right down the toilet when you're trying to have a conversation.
Yeah. Chuck, have you seen it?
Only the clip and the controversial part of the clip. I have not watched the whole documentary, but I don't. Of all issues, if you're a part of something like this, I can tell you, when I deal with certain issues that I know are polarizing on the left or the right, that are just fire somebody up, you look at it 7 times, 8 times, 9 times. You just thoroughly scrub it because you don't want something small to take away if you've got a larger point to make.
Well, this producer, I guess, this wasn't. Oh, you all need to see it. It's one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in my life. It was so.
It's not just the producer, it's everybody who put together the documentary, because the process, as you know, is a collective process where everybody works together and dukes out, you know, and kind of makes sure it's fair. It's not just one person. That's never, always blame the producer.
Documentaries have to be factual.
Yeah, they do. Alex, if you can, get the clips, if you will. We'll play them later on the show. People will be stunned by it.
The problem, too, is this was presented, this documentary, as an even-handed look. Finally, we're going to have an open, even-handed conversation about guns, and as Chuck said, this one piece just undermines all of that.